Good morning, all of you. Okay, welcome back. Welcome to Lakshya Academy YouTube channel. Okay, up to now we have completed five parts in the digestion absorption topic. Okay, today this is the part 6 of digestion and absorption. The topics to be covered in today's part 6, digestive glands. Okay, in the previous episodes, in previous parts, we completed alimentary canal. Digestive system is equal to alimentary canal plus associated glands or digestive glands. Okay, we complete the first part, that is alimentary canal. The second part is digestive glands. Digestive glands is very important in need point of view. Okay, today in today's class we will focus on three digestive glands, not all. Okay, those are salivary glands, gastric glands, and intestinal glands. Let us focus on these three. Okay, let's get started our class. So, digestive glands. The digestive glands are present in the wall of the alimentary canal. Okay, we have already learned histology of alimentary canal wall. There are different types of tissues are present in the wall of the alimentary canal. In the wall of the alimentary canal, there are digestive glands are also present. The digestive glands present in the wall of the alimentary canal are what are they? Gastric glands, Brunner's glands, and crypts of Lieberkühn. Okay, these three glands are present. Three types of digestive glands are present in the wall of the alimentary canal itself. Okay, when we were studying of alimentary canal, you came across these three words: gastric glands, Brunner's glands, and crypts of Lieberkühn. Next, apart from these three, there are some digestive glands which are associated with the wall of the alimentary canal. Okay, they are not directly in the wall of the alimentary canal, but they are associated with the alimentary canal. Okay, those are salivary glands, liver, pancreas. Okay, every one of you are familiar with these terms. Okay, what are they? Salivary glands, liver, pancreas are the digestive glands associated with gut or alimentary canal or gastrointestinal tract, and these are called extra alimentary canal glands. What are these? Extra alimentary canal glands. They are not in the wall, they are associated with the gut. The digestive glands present in the, once again see these 2 point digestive glands present in the wall of the alimentary canal. What are they? Gastric glands, Brunner's glands, and crypts of Lieberkühn. And there are some digestive glands which are not present in the wall, they are outside, they are associated with the digestive tract, that is gut or alimentary canal or gastrointestinal tract. What are they? Salivary glands, liver, and pancreas are the digestive glands associated with the gut. Okay, observe here, there are some glands. This is the salivary gland, and there is a liver, and there is a pancreas. You can observe liver here, and here there is a pancreas, and here there are salivary glands. Salivary glands. Okay, these are not present in the wall of the alimentary canal. They are associated with the alimentary canal or gut. But some of the digestive glands are present in the wall of the alimentary canal. Observe here. Okay, these are the Brunner's glands and crypts of Lieberkühn. Crypts of Lieberkühn. These are present in the wall of the intestine, small intestine, and there are some other glands. Observe here, and these are present in the wall of the stomach. Okay, what are these? Gastric glands. Okay, I told you in the first 2 points, some of the digestive glands are present in the wall. What are they? Gastric glands. Observe here, gastric gland. They are present in the wall of the stomach. Okay, what is the next one? Brunner's glands. Okay, they are present in the submucosa of duodenum. It is a first part in the small intestine. and crypts of Limbercule. Crypts of Limbercule. This is the crypt of Limbercule. Okay, these are present in the wall of the alimentary canal. And salivary glands, liver, pancreas. Okay, salivary glands, liver. This is the liver and pancreas. Okay, these are associated with the gut. Okay, observe this flow chart. You get a clear idea about the digestive glands. Digestive glands are broadly classified in two types, okay, which are present in the wall of the alimentary canal and which are associated with the LVX. These are called extra alimentary canal glands. Extra alimentary canal glands. What are they? Salivary glands, liver, pancreas. Salivary glands, liver, pancreas. And which are present in the wall of the alimentary canal. Gastric glands, crypts of Leverkusen, and Brunner's glands. In today's class, we are going to learn there are six are here. Among these six, we are going to learn one is salivary glands, and one is gastric glands, and another one is these two intestinal glands. These two together we call intestinal glands. Okay, we focus on these four and remaining two, liver and pancreas in the next part. Okay, let's first one salivary glands. There are three pairs of salivary glands in man. Okay, what are they? Parotid glands. Okay, you are familiar with these terms. You learned in lower classes also. Parotid glands. Where are they? Observe here. Okay, this is the parotid gland. Where is it? What its location? It is very important in matching bits. It is given one type, one side, column one, name of the salivary gland, the other side, its location. Okay, parotid glands are present below the pinna. Below the pinna. You know, this is the pinna, ear pinna, external visible part of the ear pinna. Okay, it is present below the pinna. Is it clear? It is present below the pinna or inner surface of the cheeks. Okay, to the next one, submaxillary or submandibular. Maxilla means upper jaw, mandible means lower jaw. And these are present at the angles of lower jaw. Observe here, this is submandibular. Here we have lower jaw. It is present at the angles of lower jaw. We have submandibular or submaxillary gland. The third one, sublingual. The word itself is self-explanatory. Okay, it is telling the meaning. Okay, where they are located. Sub, below, lingua, tongue. Okay, these are present below the tongue. Okay, observe here. This is the tongue here, tongue, and below the tongue we have what type of salivary gland? Sublingual gland. Okay, like that we have three pairs of salivary glands. How many pairs of salivary glands are present? What are they? Okay, how many pairs? Three pairs. Okay, name them. What are they? Parotid glands, submaxillary. We have 2 marks question also on this one. Okay, parotid glands. Okay, where are they? Present below the pinna, inner surface of the cheeks. What is the next one? Submaxillary or submandibular glands. Okay, where are they present? At the angles of the lower jaw. Angles of the lower jaw. And what is the third one? Sublingual glands. Lingua means tongue. Okay, they are present below the tongue. Okay, is it clear? Okay, you will learn three types of salivary glands and their location. Okay, observe this flow chart. Salivary glands, parotid glands, subparotid glands, sublingual glands, and submaxillary. These are one pair, one pair, one pair. Location below the pinna or inner side of the cheeks, below the tongue, and at the angles of the lower jaw. Composition of saliva. What are the various substances present in our saliva? What are the different types of? When you observe the histology of the salivary glands, histology means study of tissues, also called microanatomy. Okay, salivary glands are also made up of different types of cells. What are the cells that are present in our salivary glands? They are serous cells and mucous cells. These mucus cells produce mucus. Mucus cells produce mucus. And serous cells, what do they produce? They produce enzymes. They produce, they secrete enzymes. Okay, saliva, what are the various substances present in our saliva? Okay, observe here, saliva, cells in salivary glands. Okay, serous cells and what is another one? Mucus cells. Is it clear? Okay, there are salivary glands are formed of two types of cells. Okay, what are they? Serous cells, and mucus cells. Saliva contains water. What is the composition of saliva? Okay, serous cells produce enzymes and mucus cells produce mucus. Okay, observe this flow chart. You'll get a clear idea about saliva composition. Saliva consists of water, 95% of water. It consists of electrolytes. There are cations in our saliva. There are anions. Okay, cations are Na plus and K plus, and anions are HCO3 minus and Cl minus. And there are enzymes in our saliva. What are they? Hyaline or salivary amylase or alpha amylase. Another enzyme is salivary lipase or lingual lipase. Okay, another enzyme is also present, that is lysozyme enzyme. I forgot to mention here. One more enzyme that is here, lysozyme. Very important, lysozyme. That means our saliva also, it is a part of defense system. Okay, it protects our body from the bacteria. Okay, this lysozyme enzyme, it kills the bacteria. And nitrogenous waste minerals are also present in our saliva. Okay, what are they? Urea, uric acid. Generally, nitrogenous waste minerals are present in our mainly in our urine. Okay, apart from that, there are nitrogenous waste minerals are also present in other secretions of our body. Saliva also consists of nitrogenous waste minerals. What are the urea and uric acid? Very important one. And antibodies are also present. Antibodies are part of immune system. Okay, what type of antibodies? Mainly IgA type of antibodies are there. We have different types of antibodies. DEGAM, you can remember DEG, DEGAM. Okay, IgD, IgE, IgG, IgA, IgM. Okay, these are one of the one of the antibody present in our saliva is what is that? IgA antibodies, and mucus is also present. Okay, this mucus or mucin is produced by the mucus cells present in the. Okay, that's about salivary glands. One more important point related to salivary glands is mumps. Mumps is a painful inflammation. You learned earlier we learned inflammations related to different parts of the digestive system. Earlier we learned the inflammation of the gums, that is called gingivitis. Inflammation of gums, chigul, it is called gingivitis. Okay, we also learned inflammation of tonsillitis. We also learned the inflammation of the appendicitis. Okay, inflammation of stomach, gastritis. Okay, inflammation of parotid glands. Parotid gland is one type of salivary gland. Okay, inflammation of parotid glands is called mumps. It is caused by virus, very important one, by a group of viruses called paramyxoviruses. Paramyxovirus are a group of viruses which cause inflammation in our salivary glands, especially parotid gland. How would be okay, our salivary glands if they are affected by this virus? Observe here. Okay, here is a picture in which you can observe the parotid. This is a parotid gland. This is a normal parotid gland. Okay, observe here there is a swelling and cheek here. Okay, because of mumps. Okay, virus. Okay, it is swollen here. Okay, that's about salivary glands. Let us see once again briefly about salivary glands. Salivary, how many pairs of salivary glands do we have? Three pairs. Okay, what are they? Parotid glands, sublingual or submandibular glands, and sublingual glands. Okay, parotid glands, submaxillary, submandibular glands, and sublingual glands. Where are they present? Parotid glands. Okay, parotid glands, where are they present? Below the pinna or inner side of the cheeks. Sublingual glands, where are they present? Below the tongue. And submaxillary glands, where are they present? At the angles of the lower jaw. Next, what are the cells present in our salivary glands? Okay, what are they? Serous cells and mucous cells. Okay, serous cells and mucous cells are present in our salivary gland. There are two types of cells. What are they? Serous cells and mucous cells. What do serous cells produce? Enzyme. Mucous cells produce. Serous cells produce. Okay, serous cells produce enzymes, and mucous cells, what do they produce? Mucus. Okay, next, saliva composition. What are present in our saliva? Our saliva contains water. How much water is present? 95%. Okay, saliva also consists of, okay, salts or electrolytes are present in our saliva. What are they? Okay, sodium ion, okay, Na plus, K plus, these are the cations. Okay, anions, HCO3 minus and Cl minus, these are the anions. Saliva also consists of mucin, okay, mucus, and the enzymes. What are the enzymes present in our saliva? Lysozyme, okay, tyalin or salivary amylase or alpha amylase, and lipase, lingual lipase, salivary lipase is also present. Nitrogenous waste materials are also present in our saliva. What are the urea and uric acid? Antibodies are also present. IgA antibodies, alpha, immunoglobulin alpha, and mucus is also present in our saliva. And sometimes our salivary glands are also affected by some microorganisms like viruses. Okay, those group of viruses called paramyxo viruses, and the painful inflammation of these parotid glands is called mumps. Okay, observe here. Okay, this is a normal parotid gland. This is the swollen parotid gland, which is caused by a virus called paramyxovirus. That's the end of salivary glands. I hope it is clear. Gastric glands. Okay, these are located in the wall of the stomach beneath the surface epithelium. Okay, where are these glands? Okay, this is the surface epithelium. Okay, this is the epithelium here, surface epithelium. These are present below the surface epithelium. Okay, these are located in the wall of the stomach. In the wall of the stomach, this is our wall of the stomach. This is the wall. This is the wall. In the wall of the stomach, we have, in the wall. This is the wall. In the wall of the stomach, we have glands here. Okay, there are, these are located, gastric glands are located in the wall of the stomach beneath the surface epithelium. There is a beneath the surface epithelium. Okay, there is a mucosal epithelium below that, they are present. Next one, gastric glands. Okay, gastric glands are three types, namely cardiac glands, pyloric glands, and third type pyloric glands, cardiac glands, and fundic glands. Earlier we learnt in the structure of stomach. The stomach is, as per NCR textbook, is divided into two parts. Okay, what is that? First is cardiac stomach, into which esophagus opens, or esophagus is received by cardiac stomach, followed by fundus, and the large main body. This is the larger part, and next part is the pyloric stomach. The glands which are present in this cardiac stomach are the cardiac glands, which are present in the, okay, fundic region. Fundic region, those are called fundic glands, and which are present in the pyloric stomach. Pyloric stomach, these are called pyloric glands. Okay, gastric glands are three types. What are they? Cardiac glands, pyloric glands, and fundic glands are oxyntic glands. Okay, those are the three types: Cardiac glands. What do they secrete? Mucus. What is the function of that mucus? Protection. Next, pyloric glands. Pyloric glands secrete mucus and also hormone called gastrin hormone. Okay, observe the third type. What are the third type? Fundic glands, also called as oxyntic gland. They are composed of three different types of cells. Okay, observe this flow chart. Okay, we have gastric glands in the wall of the stomach. Okay, there are three types: cardiac glands, pyloric glands, and fundic glands. Okay, cardiac glands present in cardiac stomach. Pyloric glands are present in pyloric stomach. And next one, fundus region have fundic glands. Fundic glands are present. Okay, how many types of salivary glands, gastric glands are there? Cardiac glands, pyloric glands, and fundic glands. Okay, cardiac glands, what do they secrete? What do they produce? They produce mucus for protection. Next one, pyloric glands. Pyloric glands produce mucus and hormone. This is the hormone. You will be learning more about this hormone later at the end of this lesson. Okay, gastrin hormone. Next, fundic glands. Very, very, very important. This one, fundic glands. Okay, fundic glands secrete. They consist of three types of cells are present in fundic gland. Observe this one. Okay, there are cells, different types of cells are present. First one, neck has neck cells, mucus producing neck cell. This is the neck of the, okay, this is a gastric gland. Okay, yeah, this is the gastric pit, gunta. And this is the gastric gland. Okay, in this gastric gland, fundic gland or oxyntic gland, these are composed of three different types of cells. One, what are they? Neck cells. Okay, here neck has cells, neck cells, which produce mucus. Okay, next one, other type of cells are peptic cells or chief cells, which secrete large quantities of proenzymes. Very, very important. This one, it was asked in previous NEET exams, AIPMT exam. Okay, NEET, previously it was called AIPMT. Proenzymes, pepsinogen and prorenin are present in it. Okay, you can also observe here, okay, there are chief cells, there are G cells which secrete gastrin. Okay, gastrin is secreted by which cells? G cells, which is not given in a textbook. Chief cells secrete pepsinogen as well as renin, prorenin, and gastric lipase. Gastric lipase. Okay, observe here, mucous neck cells. What do they secrete? Mucus. These all are very, very important. I am saying again and again. Parietal cells. Parietal cells secrete hydrochloric acid and Castle's intrinsic factor, which is essential for the absorption of B12 vitamin. I repeat again. Okay, gastric glands. Gastric glands are three types: cardiac glands present in the cardiac stomach, pyloric glands present in the pyloric stomach, and fundic glands present in the fundic region of the stomach, fundus. There are, in the fundic gland, there are three types of cells. What are those cells? Neck cells. Neck cells. You can observe here, neck cell, mucous neck cell. Okay, in the name itself telling they produce mucus. Mucous neck cells. Okay, what are they producing? Mucus. Next, chief cells are peptic cells. These cells are very important, and they are they are producing proenzymes. Okay, pepsinogen, prorenin, and gastric lipase. Gastric lipase. Saliva has salivary lipase, the lingual lipase. Here there is gastric lipase. You will be learning two more lipase, three more lipase later. And oxyntic cells and parietal cells. Okay, in the NEET exam, okay, several bits were asked about these oxyntic cells or parietal cells. And okay, what do these cells secrete? These cells produce Castle's intrinsic factor and also hydrochloric acid. Okay, this is the fundic glands. Fundic glands are also called oxyntic glands. Oxyntic. They are also called oxyntic glands. Oxyntic glands produce oxyntic glands have oxyntic cells or parietal cells which produce Castle's intrinsic factor. Next one, Okay, oxyntic cells are parietal cells which secrete hydrochloric acid and Castell's intrinsic factor essential for absorption of vitamin B12. It was also in previous NEET exam. Vitamin B12 is essential for the absorption of. It is very important for the maturation of RBC. Okay, deficiency of B12 may cause pernicious, very important, pernicious anemia. That means for in the formation of RBC erythropoiesis, this vitamin is important in the especially in the maturation of RBC. Vitamin B12 help in not only this one folic acid and vitamin B12 help in the maturation of RBC. Okay, next point, secretions of all these gastric glands. Okay, there are pyloric glands, funding glands, and cardiac glands form a juice called gastric juice, and which with the pH ranging from 0.9 to 1.8, the pH value of gastric juice is 0.9 to 1.8. Gastric glands secrete some amount of gastric lipase. Okay, this gastric lipase is produced by, as I told you, chief cells are peptic cells. Okay, that's about the gastric glands. I repeat again, gastric glands are very, very important among these all digestive glands. Okay, you observe here once. Okay, as we are discussing stomach here, okay, it is also right to discuss about the stomach of the earthworm. Earthworm stomach also consists of glandular alimentary canal. Glandular alimentary canal first time evolved in the Annelida phylum. Okay, earthworm is one of the example for Annelida phylum. Okay, in this earthworm there is a elementary canal, straight elementary canal. One of the part is stomach. In this stomach there are glands called, okay, what do we call calciferous glands? Calci, calciferous. Okay, calciferous glands are present in the stomach of earthworm, which neutralize the humic acid present in the humus. Very important one. Gastric glands, where are they located? They are located in the wall of the stomach, beneath the mucosal epithelium or surface epithelium. Gastric glands are three types. Okay, like salivary glands are three pairs. Here, these are three types. What are they? Cardiac glands. What do they produce? Mucus. Okay, for protection. The other type is pyloric glands. What do they secrete? Mucus, and also a hormone called gastrin secreted by cells called G cells. Okay, observe here. There are the stomach has parts. There are three parts in the stomach. Okay, four parts in the stomach: cardiac stomach, fundus, okay, body, and pylori. And types of gastric glands. In cardiac stomach, we have cardiac glands. In pyloric stomach, we have pyloric glands, and in the fundus, we have fundic glands. These are three types of salivary glands. Gastric glands. Earthworm also has some type of glands in its stomach. Those are called calciferous glands. Observe this flowchart: gastric glands, cardiac glands, pyloric glands, fundic glands. Cardiac glands produce mucus, pyloric glands produce mucus and gastrin, and fundic glands, okay, they consist of three types of cells, mainly mucous neck cells, which produce mucus, and chief cells or peptic cells produce proenzymes like trypsinogen and chlorine. Also, gastric lipase is also secreted by these cells. Oxyntic cells are parietal cells. Okay, they produce Castell's intrinsic factor and HCl, hydrochloric acid. Okay, which is very important for the activation of some of the enzymes present in the gastric juice. Okay, what are present in the gastric juice? Okay, the gastric juice consists of bicarbonate. Gastric juice consists of mucus. Gastric juice consists of pepsinogen, prorenin, gastric lipase, Castell's intrinsic factor, hydrochloric acid. These all are present in the gastric juice. Okay, as hydrochloric acid is present in our gastric juice, the pH value of gastric juice is very low. The pH value of gastric juice is 0.9 to 1.8. Okay, secretions of these all glands form a gastric juice with the pH ranging from 0.9 to 1.8. Gastric glands also secrete small amount of gastric lipase. Okay, that's the end of gastric glands. Next one, intestinal glands. There are two types. Okay, Brunner's glands are Brunner's glands which secrete mucus and crypts of Lieberkühn. Okay, you can observe here. This is the NCRT figure. Okay, crypts of Lieberkühn here. These are present in the basis of two villi. This is one villus. This is one villus. Okay, the basis of between the basis of two villi. Okay, there is a crypts of Lieberkühn, and you can observe here. This is the duodenum. Okay, section of duodenum. In the duodenum, you can observe the Brunner's glands. Okay, these two together we call intestinal glands. Okay, what are they? Brunner glands in the submucosa. This is the submucosa. Submucosa of duodenum has Brunner's glands, and also in the this mucosa. Okay, between the two villi, the mucosa goes down and form a pit. These are called crypts of Lieberkühn. These two together called intestinal glands. Brunner's glands and crypts of Lieberkühn together called intestinal glands. Okay, the secretion of Brunner's glands along with the Lieberkühn constitute the intestinal juice or succus entericus. The secretion of Brunner's glands. Okay, Brunner's glands means they produce mucus. Very, very important submucous. We also call submucosal glands. I told you in the previous part. And along with this Lieberkühn, along with that of Lieberkühn constitute the intestinal juice. Okay, crypts of Lieberkühn secretion and Brunner gland secretion together we call intestinal juice, also called succus entericus. Very important bit. Intestinal juice is also called succus entericus. The pH value here is 7.5 to 8. pH value of salivary juice 6.8. pH value of gastric juice 0.9 to 1.8. pH value of intestinal juice 7.5 to 8. Succus entericus, that means intestinal juice, contains different types of enzymes. Observe here, intestinal juice has peptidases. What? Tripeptidase, dipeptidase, aminopeptidase. Tripeptidase, dipeptidase, aminopeptidase. They act on proteins. Next one, disaccharidases. Okay, sucrase, maltase, lactase. You can remember as Sumala. Sucrase, maltase, lactase. Sucrase is also called invertase. Very important. It was also asked in previous exams, NEET exam. And intestinal lipase, there is also intestinal lipase which acts on lipids. And these disaccharides act on disaccharides like sucrose, maltose and lactose. And there are also lysosome is also present in the salivary juice. This lysosome is produced by Paneth cells. It was this bit was also asked in previous NEET exam. Paneth cells. Where are Paneth cells are present and what do they produce? They produce lysosome. Paneth cells, don't confuse Paneth cells with parietal cells. And also, intestinal juice also consists of nucleotidase and nucleosidase. Okay, they act on nucleotide and nucleoside respectively. And intestinal juice also consists of another very, very important enzyme. This was also asked in previous NEET exam. Okay, as I am telling here, previous NEET exam, because several bits were asked from the these digestive glands. Bits were asked from the these glands. Very, very important. Okay, intestinal juice, enterokinase, and it is also called, which is the enzyme activity. It is important for the activation of some of the enzymes present in the pancreatic juice, which you will be learning later. Okay, that's about the intestinal juice. Intestinal juice consists of peptidases. What are they? Tripeptidase, dipeptidase. Okay, like remember ADP. Okay, ATP, triphosphate, ADP, adenosine diphosphate, A, aminopeptidase, D, type P, ATP. You can remember as ADT. Okay, tripeptidase, dipeptidase, aminopeptidase. Next one, disaccharides. You can remember as Sumala, sucrase, maltase, lactase. Also, sucrase is also called invertase. They act on carbohydrates, disaccharides. Intestinal lipase, it acts on lipids. And lysozyme, okay, it's produced by Paneth cells, which kills bacteria. Okay, nucleotidase acts on nucleotides, and nucleoside acts on nucleotides, and enterokinase or enteropeptidase. Okay, it is enzyme activated, converts the inactive trypsinogen into trypsin. Okay, it also has small amounts of intestinal lipase, okay, intestinal juice, succus centricus. The enzyme activator also present, that is called enterokinase. Very, very important, enterokinase enzyme activator. Paneth cells lining at the bases. Okay, observe here. Okay, these are the Paneth cells. Paneth cells. Some of the Paneth cells also present here. Okay, Paneth cells are present here. Bases. Okay, these Paneth cells, what do they produce? What do they produce? Lysozyme. It was asked in previous NEET exam. Paneth cells produce a lysozyme. Where are they present? Lining the bases of intestinal glands. This is the base. Okay, this is the base. Okay, they are lining the base. Okay, lining the bases of intestinal glands and secrete lysozyme, which kills bacteria, antibacterial. And that escape from the some of the bacteria, they escape for destruction in the stomach. There is a powerful acid, hydrochloric acid, which kills bacteria. Some of the bacteria may escape destruction in the stomach. Those bacteria will be killed in the intestine by the intestinal juice. One of the enzyme present in intestinal juice, that is lysozyme, produced by the Paneth cells. Okay, that's the end. Okay, I hope you like this video. Okay, if you like, share it, and also subscribe to Lakshay YouTube channel. Okay, thanks.